Why is it that black people don't own homes? What's up, everybody? It's your boy, StephenMotivate, back again with another Journey episode, and we want to talk about home ownership. We want to tell black people specifically that are first-time home buyers, how do I go about buying a home? What are the things I need to think about when it relates to buying a home? But the overall question is, why do black people not own homes? And, it's a stark contrast because according to the statistics, only about 40-ish%, 40 to 44%, give or take, not enough, basically, people that are black own their homes, where the average around the country is about 65%. And then our white counterparts, people are always talking about the black wealth gap and why is it that our white counterparts don't have as much issue with wealth? Well, about 70% of them own their homes. So that's something we got to really look at. Like, is that the secret? Is that what we're missing? We simply need to get into home ownership. Now, yes, what are some issues that have held back home ownership? Redlining, credit issues, discrimination, absolutely. All those things have existed for a long time and in some cases still exist. But now there is no better time than 2024 to buy a home. There's no time like the present. And so let's get into it. What do you need to do to buy a home? I want to give you 4 tips, then I'm going to come back and give you a bonus tip if you stick around for the whole video. The first thing you need to do if you're talking about buying a home and you're trying to figure out, how do I get started? Well, you need to think about building and protecting your credit. You need to think about building and protecting your credit score. This is going to be one of the easiest ways to buy a home. Yeah, there are people that say credit scores don't matter, but when it relates to a home, it does matter, at least for the majority of people. Your credit score is going to help you qualify for the best mortgage rate out there. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to regularly monitor your credit score. You need to regularly monitor it for one, accuracy. Is what's on your credit score accurate? If it's not, that's disputable. That's something that you can fight. It is required by law that it be accurate at all times. So if it's not accurate, that's something that you can fight and it can potentially raise your score. I'm talking about even if they got your name wrong, if they've got it spelled wrong, if they've got it punctuated wrong, if the address is wrong, all these things must be accurate. So you really need to do your research and make sure that you're checking it regularly. Yes, let's be realistic. You do need to pay down your debts. Dispute as many debts as you can, but the debts that are yours, pay them down, pay them off, pay them regularly, pay them on time. Someone recently told me, yeah, I just moved to a different city and I just stopped paying all that stuff. Don't just stop paying stuff. Your payment history follows you throughout your life. You're going to set yourself up for more obstacles and more troubles if you don't pay down your debt and do it in a responsible way. All right, moving on to point number 2. Many states, many cities, many programs support first-time home buyers. Black people, my black people, take advantage of the first-time home buyer assistance. Many of us will be first-generation homeowners. Our parents have never owned a home. Your home is connected to your wealth and your future. So if you're a first-time home buyer, do the research. Get on Google. Go to a bank. Talk to a mortgage loan officer and figure out, okay, what do I need to do to be a first-time home buyer? This is so important because this means you don't have to put down as much money to actually get qualified for a mortgage. Like there are some programs where you can put 0% down, but most times you're putting down between 3 to 3.5%. So if you want to buy a house for $200,000 or $400,000, you're talking about 3.5%. What is that? So 1% of 400,000 is 4,000. That's 4,000. 8,000, 12,000, half of 4 is 2, so $14,000. You could buy a $400,000 house for $14,000. That's a great deal. When have you ever been able to take $14,000 and get something that can be leveraged, something that you could live in, something that is going to benefit you for $400,000, and something that's likely to appreciate in value? Meaning today it might be worth $400,000, but tomorrow it could be worth $450,000 or $500,000. So you want to take advantage of first-time homebuyer programs. All right. Number 3, do your research as it relates to lending options. Many Black folks especially have been the victims of discrimination as it relates to trying to get mortgages, trying to get home loans. Blacks have faced discrimination. There's been lawsuits. People have tried to take advantage of Black people, knowing that most of them have never purchased a home and don't know the details and the ins and outs of purchasing a home. So you need to check with at least 3 or 4 different people. Don't fall in love with the first lender, with the first bank you deal with. You've got to shop around. What's the song? My mama told me you better shop around. So you need to shop around. You need to do your research, because it's going to help you in the long run actually find the home that's best for you at the rate that's best for you. Got to do your research. You need help. You need to think about getting a broker to help you do that research, a real estate broker, a real estate agent. Hey, that agent should be helping you, not coercing you or forcing you to do anything you're not comfortable with, but helping you find the right lender for you. Banks love homes. They love them. They want to lend money against homes because it's a secured asset. And so they have a lot of data around how much money they can make lending on a home. So it's something people want to do. It's just a matter of finding the right person to do it with. So shop around, date around, research lending options, because as Black people, we face the probability that we can face more discrimination and just unfairness, right? Being duped, having the wool pulled over our eyes. So you really want to research and make sure you're not buying too much house, but you're buying the right house for you. So that's my third point. I really want you to research the lending options. Do not fall in love with one bank or even one broker or one seller. Like, you need to look around and search around. This is probably, for most people, the biggest purchase they'll ever make in their life. So you've got to take time to really do the research. Got it? All right. Point number 4, where to buy a home. Look for homes in areas that you believe are going to go up, 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 up in value. Unfortunately, Blacks have been the subject of discrimination as it relates to gentrification and redlining. What is gentrification, right? Gentrification, as I understand it, is folks are coming in, they're buying up the land for cheap, and they're turning the neighborhood around. Meaning they're pushing the poor people out, put it simply, and the rich people are coming in. The rich people are coming in for very cheap prices. They're buying raggedy homes, tearing them down in some cases just to get the land, and then they're building something immaculate on the land because they know the neighborhood is turning. And you find this in cities that are dealing with gentrification. So you got to be very aware of it. If you can stop it, try to stop it. Most times you can't, and you might just need to find a way to participate in it. Find a way to keep your home in the area that's being gentrified. Don't allow somebody to buy your home for under market value. And then, 5 years later, that area is $1 million area because the homes are now going for way more after it's been gentrified. So you have to watch out for that. You want to buy homes in areas that are going up in value. Another good example of this are suburbs. Suburbs and home developers typically know where how the population is growing. If you're here in Charlotte, North Carolina, where we're at, the population keeps growing out. And so you can get an idea of where home prices and home values are going to go up if you go on the outskirts of town. And you can do this just about in any city, and you start seeing where the developers, the general contractors, the Pulte Homes, the Ryan Homes, the D.R. Horton Homes. Just take a Saturday, go out, drive the neighborhoods, see where people are putting up developments, or they've got signs saying developments are coming. And that's usually an indication that those areas are going to, over time, go up in value. And those might be good places for you to actually research, hey, should I buy a home out here, or should I buy land out here? Because over time, that's going to help your home appreciate that much more quickly. Hope that makes sense. Hope that gives you some details on what to do. If you stuck with me this far, I do want to give you that bonus tip. If you already own a home, or if you're thinking about getting a mortgage, the way you want to handle this mortgage is you want to pay for it bi-weekly. They're going to give you a mortgage that is only due one time a month. But if you pay for it bi-weekly, you're going to end up making 13 full payments a year. And there's only 12 months in a year. So what happens to that last payment? Well, that last payment goes directly against the principal. And so what you're going to do, you're going to end up paying off that home earlier and faster because you're doing more than the minimum. If you've checked out some of my other videos talking about how to handle debt, then you know that we never pay the minimum. So this is even true with a home. Don't be so scared like, oh, can I afford it? All you have to do is pay it more frequently. Pay it more frequently. And you're going to pay that sucker off that much more faster. It's going to be a great way for you to build wealth for you and your family and close the racial wealth gap. There's only 44% of black families that own homes, whereas our white counterparts are around 70%. It's not rocket science, folks. It's called financial literacy. You've got to do the right things with your money, and buying a home is the right thing. I hope this helps you. And I want you to do one thing. If this helped you, share it with somebody else. There's a lot of people on the internet talking about how to buy a home and when you should buy a home and where to buy a home. Do more research. Just don't take my word for it. Find out for yourself. And as always, stay motivated. It's your boy, StephenMotivate. Until next time, peace.